What's up guys, my name is B-Bell and today we are going to give you a quick introduction to Procreate. This is a video for beginners. By the time we're done this video, you'll be able to hop in here, you'll be comfortable with the interface, and you'll be ready to create some artwork. So what you see here is the home page of Procreate. This is your gallery. This is where all your artwork will be stored. You can select from your various art in here. You can import new artwork. You could take a photo, or you can press this plus button here and open up your options for canvases. Now you can see there's a lot of pre-made templates, or you could press this button here and open up further customization options. And here you can make micro adjustments to your canvas. You can change the width, the height, the DPI, your layers. You can switch between RGB and CMYK. You can adjust your time-lapse settings. You can make some more adjustments to your canvas. Once you're all done in here, you can just hit create. And now you've got yourself a canvas to work with. This is your workspace. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward. Procreate makes things nice and user-friendly. So let's see what we've got here. This is your gallery. This will take you back to your artwork. Right here you've got your actions menu. You can come in here and import new art, add text options in here. You can crop and resize your canvas. There's various different options in here, flipping your artwork, etc. The share option will allow you to export your art. You have various files to choose from in here, including PDF, JPEG, PNG, TIFF. You can also export individual layers, which is pretty cool. The video options control your time-lapse settings, which we will go over further later on. The preferences, you can come in here and adjust your preference settings. You can switch between light and dark mode. You can change the interface from right and left hand, and various other settings you can explore in here. In here you can restore purchases, you can access some advanced settings, you can see the Procreate handbook, which will really help you out, and various other things as well. Moving on, you got your adjustments menu. In here you can adjust your hue, saturation, brightness, you can do gradients, you can blur. In here you can just basically make various adjustments to your artwork. Next we've got our selection option, that's that little S up here. And this will allow you to make various selections in your artwork. You have the ellipse, you have automatic where you can just click on a shape and it will select for you. You have a freehand option. Basically you have various options in here to select your artwork. You can use these to do fills. You can use them so you could just isolate individual areas of your canvas to work on. So those are your selection options. Once you move to the arrow here, it will allow you to move your selections around the canvas once you have something selected. Procreate is awesome because it comes loaded with tons of great brushes. You have pencils, you've got paint brushes, pastels, airbrushes, spray paints, anything you need to make art. Additionally, you can customize brushes to your liking. You just find a brush, hold down on it, and it opens up what Procreate calls Brush Studio. In here you can make adjustments to everything from the taper, the thickness, you name it, you can adjust it in here. Furthermore, you can also create your own brushes. Additionally, you hit this plus sign here and you can import your own brushes. Just hit import and you could import your downloaded brushes that you have saved onto your iPad. Next we've got the smudge option. Basically it'll allow you to smudge your artwork. You can blend colors. Moving on. Next we've got our eraser. Pretty straightforward. You can erase. When you hold it down, it opens up various brush options. They will all perform a similar function, which is erasing, but the various brushes will give it various effects. For example, so you can see it gives it a certain gives it a certain effect. Next is your layer menu. This will allow you to work with your layers. You can add a layer, you can remove layers, you can adjust the opacity of layers, and you have all the blending options in here as well. Furthermore, if you hold it down, it will open up more options. You can copy the layer, you can invert, alpha lock, clear, and you have other various layer options in here as well. This next menu here is your color menu. Once you open it up, you'll see various color options. You've got a disc, you've got a classic palette, you've got a color wheel that will keep your colors in harmony. You've got values, so you can make precise adjustments to come up with a particular color scheme. And you also got palettes. There's some preloaded palettes in here. You can also import your own palettes, but what's really cool is if you press this plus button, you can actually take a photo and extract the color from that photo and use it in your artwork. That's an awesome feature. It gives you some really amazing natural color schemes, so that's a very cool option as well. Over here on the left hand side of the workflow, you have the brush size options. This allows you to change brush size. It's pretty straightforward. The higher you go, the bigger your brush. The lower you go, the smaller your brush. This bottom option controls the opacity. The higher the opacity, of course, the less transparent. The lower the opacity, the more transparent your stroke becomes. One of the really cool features that Procreate has is called the gestures option. Gestures allow you to streamline your workflow, speed things up without having to hop back and forth between a bunch of unnecessary things. Say you make your brush stroke, you don't like it, 2 fingers, it undoes your last action. 3 fingers will redo, and if you take 3 fingers and scrub it on the screen, it'll completely clear your layer. There's other gestures options in here as well. Of course, you can do the pinch to zoom, rotate, bring down, copy and paste by dragging 3 fingers, and other cool shortcuts you'll pick up along the way. Here's another awesome feature that Procreate has. Let's say you're like me and your lines are sketchy. Procreate makes it very easy for you to just hold down and it straightens out your lines, as you see. Looks like shit. Hold it down, straightens out. Gives you nice, clean line work. The cool thing is it doesn't just work with lines. You can also make shapes. So I got a crappy circle here. Hold it down. Now you've got an ellipse. It's a perfect egg shape. But what's even cooler is hold my finger down and it'll switch between shapes. Now I've got a perfect circle or an ellipse, whatever I choose. And it's not just circles that it works with. Also works with other shapes as well. Say you want to do a square. Hold it down. Now you got a perfect square. Here's another awesome alternative if you have sketchy lines like me. As you can see, they're very unstraight. Go into pressure and smoothing. Turn up your stabilization. Oh, look how much smoother those lines are. And it doesn't just work with straight lines. You can do your circles. It makes much smoother strokes, as you can see. The stabilization method is good for people like me who work quick, and that's the reason why your lines are sketchy. Motion filtering is awesome if you're working slow or you work quick and you still have lots of shake in your lines. You have tremors, you have MS. This is an awesome option for you. Just turn up your motion filtering and it just gives you some nice straight lines. Takes out all of the wobble. Another awesome stability feature that Procreate has is, you see my shitty lines, you can come directly into your brush, hold down on the brush, open up your stabilization options, turn up the streamline, turn up the stabilization, and you can instantly see the difference. Here's another cool feature that Procreate has. Say I have a shape here, got myself a square. Now I want to color that. I can just choose a color, go up to my color menu, drag it, and drop and fill. Adding text in Procreate is super simple. Just come up here to your actions menu, hit the add option. You can add text. It'll bring up a text option. When you hit this button over here with the little A's, it'll open up further options for you as well. You can change your fonts, you can change the text style, your size, your kerning, alignment. Also, you could import fonts. Any fonts you've downloaded from the internet onto your iPad, you just hit import, select your font file, import it, and you can use that right here in Procreate as well. Another very cool feature that Procreate has that will allow you to be more precise with your artwork is drawing guides. Just go to your actions menu, go to canvas, and turn on drawing guide. As you can see, it generated a grid, but you can hit edit drawing guide and further customize your grid. You can change the opacity, the grid size, and you can turn on assisted drawing, which will follow your grid lines and snap all of your strokes to the grid. They also have an isometric grid, a perspective grid, and a symmetry guide in here. And the symmetry guide is really cool as well. That is great for doing symmetrical artworks, mandalas, faces, things that are naturally symmetrical. You can drag your division line to wherever you need it. This color bar along the top here, you can drag and it'll adjust the color of your line so it can contrast with your artwork. Vertical symmetry, horizontal symmetry, quadrant, and radial. Here's another awesome option. Let's give you an example. As you can see, I have the symmetry feature turned on. And when I make a stroke on one side, you can see it generates on the other. Here's another really interesting feature that Procreate has. It's the time-lapse feature. This is where your video settings come into play. And when you go into actions and choose your video option, open up time-lapse replay, and it will show you all of the work you've done in the last little session in a time-lapse manner. A lot of people use this to create animations and do various things, but as you can see, it's quite a cool feature. You can just come in here, go to your video options, export time-lapse video, and you can do with that as you please. Now let's say you want to export your artwork. Just come up to your actions panel, share. You can see it gives you various options. We'll select PNG, and you can just save it directly to your gallery, share it, whatever you choose to do. Pretty straightforward. And I think that's where we're going to stop today. I don't want to overwhelm you, but by now you should have a basic rundown of your workspace, how to use your brushes, your smudge, your eraser, the layer options, and you should be comfortable enough to hop in here and start creating. If this video helped you out, please like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos. My name's B-Bell. Thanks for watching.